Hey, good evening, people. Sorry we're having a little bit of trouble with Stunthanger tonight. In a few moments, or maybe a minute, I'm going to post the link to the video in the YouTube chat box on the Stunthanger watch page. So if you got this notification, I'm going to hear myself talking to the video in the YouTube chat box. Okay, so if you got this notification on YouTube, load the watch page by clicking your notification, and I'm going to put the link to the video in it, and it's the same link that would be there if you were watching on, if you were going through at the bench. So hang on just a minute, and it's about to pop up. And I see Bob Bishop's already watching us. Hang on just a minute, Bob. Copy the link. And now paste it in the chat box. And there it is. Okay. That link will get you in the video with us. So I'm going to close the YouTube watch page and pop the video, pop the chat box out. Sparky's working on getting Stunthanger back online. I don't know exactly what's wrong, but I'm doing a workaround the best I can. And now, okay, I got the chat box up as usual in its usual place so I can see what all's happening there. And the link is in it. If you click that link that I posted, second post in the chat box, then you'll be able to come in here and join us. And I'm going to turn on my anti-pirate controls because we're wide open for visitors from another world tonight, and we'll try to avoid that, but we'll do the best we can. So, hey, it's the last day of 2018, and Happy New Year, everybody. Sparky says, hi, Rusty, I'll be on shortly. Oh, no, that's Charles Carter. Says, hi, Rusty, I'll be on shortly. And Jack says, hey, Rusty and all. Hey, Jack. Everybody, you guys able to see the chat box where, well, of course, you are posting in it, so you can see the link I posted up there. If you wanted to come in here with me live, that's how you would get there. Now, I'm a little flustered from rushing around to do that, so let me have a sip of coffee. What's what I didn't splash out on the floor on the way over here. I tell you what, pushing a walker and carrying a cup of coffee is a real skill. Everybody should have to learn it sometime. Actually, I wouldn't wish it on my enemies. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, nobody can connect to Stunthanger, Kevin. It's down right now. That's Kevin McElroy. Well, I guess everybody knows that. But we're going to do the best we can. Sparky's working on getting the show going. Charles Carter's going to come join us, and Bob Bishop's in here with us, so all's not lost. We got 11 viewers. Okay, so there's 11 people watching us right now. Jeff Riley says Happy New Year. Thanks, Jeff. Happy New Year to you and everybody else. And I didn't do my entire introduction this evening, but like just tell everybody Happy New Year. And this is the last show of 2018. By my count, I think I got about 160 of these shows under my belt now. Something like that. Kevin McElroy says Oakley Dokley. Oakley Dokley, Kevin. Okie donkey. That'll do. Bob Bishop asks me if I'm all recovered. Well, I am all recovering. That's clear to me, much more than I was at this time after the ordeal last winter. And I uh, look like I'm going to be in pretty good shape. I wait and go get checked out on the 10th of January, and that's the next time I'll have any official news or releases by the doctors. So I hope to have good news. That's 10 days from now, just over a week. So looking forward to that. Man, I hear lots of fireworks going on outside. I opened the door and the cat came running in as fast as he could. My last Our last cat, his name was Tribble, um, was an outdoor cat and had outdoor hiding places. And so whenever fireworks started, she'd go run and jump into the sewer drain across the street and maybe not come out until a couple of days later. She'd do the same thing with thunderstorms too. I can't think of anything more stupid. You got a house and you've got a sewer drain. Make your choice. I don't know, which would you choose. But anyway, I hope we get some video visitors. Some of you guys can, if you're on phones, click on that link in the chat box and see what happens. Sometimes it'll just jump right in if you're on it, or if you got a tablet. It's as simple as that with my tablet. I just go to the watch page and click on the link in the chat box and drop right into the video show. If anybody that's never been in the video wants to join it, tonight would be a good night to do it. And we'll bring in the new year together, because I'll be here past midnight, no doubt. I got enough people to keep the show going if some of y'all will come in here with me. But if I have to sit here and talk to you on YouTube all by myself, then I'll do that. And one thing I said, I didn't do my introduction. I had planned on apologizing for Friday's show. That was a complete fail. Thank you, Charles Carter, for holding it up the best he could. I was not able to have the show at the last minute. Family came over and we had music at the background, and the computers in the family room, so I wasn't able to do it. So I just opened the show and set it to freeload, no protections, and let whoever come. And it looked like some people did. It looked like 4 or 5 of them at one time. Charles was doing the show. The only thing is I had my own face highlighted. You know, when you click, like when you want to watch somebody when they're showing something. Well, I had my face on the little thumbnail strip highlighted. And so what happens is that broadcasts to YouTube as I see it when I click that. So all anybody else got to see was a black screen. I think the people that actually joined the show got to see this normal show with uh, people's faces, but anybody that's just outside observers like Jeff and Kevin, Bob, Jack, and all of you guys, it just was a black screen, and you could see the film strip. I think because I went and watched the rerun of it, you could see the film strip with Charles's face and everybody down at the bottom, and the rest of it was just a black with that yellow and black checkerboard plane symbol in the middle of it. So that was my fault. I apologize for that. So it was a double fail over here. But that's in the past, and the future is only 2 hours and 9 minutes away. So cool. And speaking of the future, I went to the future over Christmas and got my Starfleet Academy certificate. I graduated. I graduated. I was a starship captain, but I had to come back to 2018 to do the show. And yeah, this is from the year. Well, let's see. You can't read Roman numerals. 2161 was when Starfleet Academy was established, and I graduated in 2258. So thanks to the time travelers, they let me come and go. Y'all believe that, right? Yeah, Jeff does. I got to meet Captain Kirk and Captain Picard too, but he wasn't any fun. Anyway, so here we are, and hopefully Sparky's having some luck. Let me see. Let me check on. I guess I could check on Stunthangar now and then and see if they're online and go back and post my regular message in the At the Bench thread, um, if it so happens. But nah, it's still offline. But hopefully everybody can that wants to come on the show can find the chat box on the watch page and just come in that way. Damn, damn, damn. There we go. Got to find my chat box again. Oh, mercy. So what, let's see, we were here. Christmas was Monday, and I mean Tuesday, and then, yeah, Friday was the big after Christmas screw up show. So we didn't really, so I never got to ask everybody what they got for Christmas. So I know y'all can't do show and tell from the chat box, but you can do tell and tell and tell me what you got for Christmas. I got my Starfleet certificate of captaincy for Christmas, of course. And then let's see. Oh yeah, I got my. Well, I told y'all before Christmas. I think I got my captain's chair, my new throne for sitting in front of the computer doing the show. Now maybe I won't squirm around so much whenever I watch the reruns. I'm always sitting here doing this, going back and forth. But now I got this fancy chair that fits all of my curves and butt and lumbar and everything else better than I ever dreamed a chair could. It's the first time I've ever had a real top of the line chair. Amazon card. Oh, you got an Amazon card? Well, you got a sad face. That's Bob Bishop. How much? How much was the card for, Bob? $15 or something? And Jeff Riley's got plans for an Aries. Anybody that's got any tips, he's asking. Let Jeff know what he can do to make that a better plane. And I'm not sure. I know I've seen an Aries, but I don't know. I don't know the plane. I've never flown one or inspected one up close. Oh, well, $50, Bob. That's not too bad for a gift card. If that's all you got, though, I guess, sad face is all right. Better than nothing. Oh, here's somebody trying to get in. Let me let Sparky in. I hope he hadn't been sitting there too long. Here we go. Sorry, Sparky. I didn't see you sitting there. I was too busy trying to think up stuff to talk about. Now you can talk to me when you turn your microphone on anyway. And it looks like Sparky's mousing around. Let me see if I can.
All right.
There we go.
I'm in.
All right. What's the word, Sparky? How you doing tonight? Well, I know you're not doing great, but yeah, I just checked Stunthangar and no love over there.
It's going to be down for a while, maybe a day or so. They're on vacation over there. So I apologize for that, but it's the holidays.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess everybody. Go ahead.
We got a problem with the stupid thing. So out of space again. Gonna have to spend more money. I can't get into the back end, so I can't even see where I'm at here. I hate having the TV behind me.
Jeff Riley sends you a happy new year, Sparky.
Ah, thank you, Jeff. Oh, Jeff.
And Kevin McElroy got a LG 43-inch TV and a Keurig coffee maker. Keurig coffee maker, that's one of those ones where you put the little disposable plastic container in it, right? Then you throw the container in the garbage so it can go in a landfill. Charles, you cannot get into the video from clicking the link in the chat box on YouTube. Charles says he can't get in.
Post the link again.
Yeah, well, let me make sure this appears to be still there, but I'll post it right now. Let me copy it again. Maybe I didn't copy every character or something. Okay, how do I copy and paste? And okay, there you go. I repasted the link. And let me close that. Okay, I repasted the link, and now Charles is coming in on the video call, and I got to approve you, Charles. Hold on just a minute. Got my pirate controls turned on, and that should do the job. There you go. Good evening, Charles. How are you tonight?
Doing well. Yeah, I was trying to get in on my phone earlier, so for some reason that link on my phone took me to an opportunity to install Hangouts in general, but it showed it was already installed, and I didn't know how to get back in. So, but my computer's working fine.
Okay, good.
Just through that link.
Yeah, we got technical difficulties with Stunthangar, so it's the forum's down, but anybody that clicks that link can get in, and I'll screen them as they come. So my schedule's all off now. Have we had an after Christmas show besides the one that we had Friday night where I botched everything up?
Hey, you know what? Your family is more important, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, it is. But you know what I did is when I walked away from the computer, I had my little thumbnail highlighted.
Right.
And everybody that wasn't in the show, all they could see was black and the row of thumbnails. Now, you guys that were in the show, you could see each other fine, couldn't you?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. But everybody else watching from outside, the usual, like we got 12 people watching us right now. All of those people, all they could see was the black screen and the row of thumbnails at the bottom. So that sucked. And later I came along and changed it, but the show was almost over by then. But I thank you for doing your best to hold it out.
Oh, you're welcome.
I marked that one as unlisted. It's more like a radio show, I guess.
Yeah, it was good. You know, Al, it was a chance for Al and I to just talk, and you know, we had a lot to talk about. So because we both are flying vectors and LA 46s, so it was good for me. I don't know about the internet audience. Hopefully, they got something out of it.
Yeah, I hope so. Bob Hunt had come in early, and I decided to opt out when I told him what was going on. And we just got a Happy New Year from a frequent viewer that calls himself American Bulldog Rocky.
Yeah.
And he never says much of anything, but he always watches us, and so back at you, Rock. Thanks for the best wishes. Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin McElroy, myself, and Dave Sabon. I didn't fly, but I was out there with those two gentlemen, and so we was flying today, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, good. One of my good buddies, was at Huntersville back in October and had a brace on his knee, and he called me today, and it was Jerry Gleer. Sparky probably knows him. Maybe. Do you know Jerry Gleer, Sparky? From down there?
Maybe.
I
I'd
think
have to see it.
actually he might be from Maryland or that area. But anyway, yeah, he had a brace on his knee and he was having trouble moving around. And he called me today, and it turns out he got a new knee replacement the day before I had my hip replacement, and he said he went out and flew yesterday. So
Wow.
that's pretty good progress.
Yeah, that is. Hopefully
I'm,
that'll do shortly.
I'm happy for him to hear that. Yeah, I hope I'm back soon too. 10 days, I'll find out my next report. I'll either get an extension or freedom. So I'm being the best boy I can be. We'll see what happens.
That's good.
I'm doing everything I can not to screw that thing up, and it feels good. And
Yeah, I know. It must
my
be
whole self
tough.
feels good. I mean, um, I had forgotten what it felt like, after last winter and all this summer, and I had forgotten what it felt like really to feel good. And lately, I've been feeling it, so I think that's a good sign. So, looking forward.
I mean, usually when you feel good, you are good. Usually,
Yeah.
kind of
And we've been
surprised
having
when it
some
feels great and
funky
they
weather, though. If I was able to get out, I couldn't because it's been rainy and nasty. All the fields are probably mud, and I guess if there's a winter that you have to be you have to be housebound, this is as good a one as any.
Yeah. Yeah, it was supposed to rain today, so we actually flew. And then when we was in the and Kevin can attest to this, when we finally was all packed up and ready to turn our keys over and the start the engines, that's when it started to sprinkle. So we actually did all right because I actually had a couple people who called me or texted me and said they wasn't going to come because of the forecast, and they should have came. They could have gotten in a couple hours of flying before rain came, and it's always good when you can get a free one in.
Yeah.
And so hopefully tomorrow is not supposed to rain. So I'll probably be up tonight making some adjustments to my vector, lengthen the push rod from the bell crank a little bit longer. That seems to be working out really well for me, by the way. And I'm going to see if I can find a smaller Venturi, put a LA 25 Venturi into a LA 46. I believe it should fit.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I guess they came. Did those engines come with more than one Venturi when you bought them new in the box?
No, but the Evolutions did, but not that one.
Yeah, I know the Evolutions did. Those are interesting engines. I've never had one. Wayne's got a couple of them, but he's never flown one. And I think they take a fair amount of break-in, don't they?
I don't know. I have one that was given to me. I believe it's already broken in, but a friend of mine, he has a Evolution 60 or 61, and I have the same motor in a box, and it runs really nice. His was running just perfect. Just loved it. A lot of power and nice, consistent,
Yeah.
easy motor. And the motor's gotten some bad publicity, but it's because people wasn't, doing what the instructions said. I think the instructions call out for all synthetic lubrication.
Yeah.
And people were putting caster in it and having uh, unfavorable results, and they were just kind of talking bad about the motor. And the motor has a bad rep, but if you do what you're supposed to do, it's a really good motor.
It was not only that, but I remember from a discussion we had on here one night that there is something that they explain in the instructions about what to and what not to do with the needle valve. And there's something strange about it that's different from other engines. And I've not messed with one, so I don't really remember. But I heard my friends talking about the evolution, and they were saying you got to do. They were going against exactly what our expert here on the shows were saying. You know, so they were apparently part of the problem. I don't know, but
Yeah.
there's a limit to something about adjusting the needle valve. But I don't remember exactly what the details of it were. But I heard my guys saying to ignore the instructions and do that, and it'll run fine. But I think they were. It sounds to me like, from what I gathered from the show, they were part of the problem.
Yeah, and it's a shame because that motor was discontinued, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think what my guys should have been doing instead was breaking that engine in before they went forcing the needle valve to do something that it's not meant to do.
Yeah, it's a shame because
Do you recall anything about that conversation or who it was?
you're absolutely right. There was something about the needle valve, and I don't remember specifically what it was, but you refresh my memory by saying that, and you're right. There was something about the needle valve that was peculiar to us, you know, but it works for that motor. Um, but yeah, it's I mean, I've seen a Evolution 46 run, and I've seen this 61 run. They both really good running motors, very powerful motors too.
Um,
Kind of like a Supercharger 60, don't they?
Yes, it does kind of have a run, but it's smooth. Unlike the 60, which will beat your plane up, the Evolutions are smooth. It's a very smooth running motor.
Yeah, I gave away
Minnesota Mike.
for them.
Minnesota Mike says hi. Happy New Year.
Hey, Minnesota Mike.
Also, Jeff Riley says he's got plans for an Aries and asked early on before anybody else was on the show if anybody had any tips. He's open to suggestions. So if anybody knows about building an Aries, Jeff is open to whatever you got that you can maybe help him out with.
Well, whenever I get the forum back up and running, you can search my 10-day or 11-day Aries build.
Yeah, well, that'll probably be as much help as he needs there. Aries is that's a pretty big plane, like 600 and something squares.
Nope,
Oh, it's smaller, huh?
blue airplane.
Hmm.
But I've seen a Super Aries, which was big.
Yeah, Super Aries is big. Now, why would they send 332nd? Shit.
And that wing's looking nice.
It's almost done.
So you're gonna do the video build on the bell crank, like you said?
No, nobody put anything in the box for me to do, so I didn't take any video.
Okay.
I mean, how many airplanes do they want to see me build?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Minnesota Mike says it was Terry talking about the Evolution needle valve.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have a good friend, Walter Hicks. He's always been a fan of the Evolution motors. First time I met him, he had an Evolution, I believe, in a plane, and it's a great motor if you just put the right fuel in.
Oh, let's see. We got a.
Hey, Kevin's coming in.
I think it's Kevin. Let's see if I can let him in. Yes, Kevin. Okay, there you go, Kevin. You're live now.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Kevin, long time no see.
Yeah.
We're muddling through, trying to make the best of the last day of 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, Someone say something about LA-25.
Yeah, I was talking about the stock Venturi. I was gonna put a stock Venturi in
stock nylon or metal, aluminum.
Aluminum.
Oh, someone's changed this one now.
Yeah, so I want to try this. I believe it's smaller, and then put it in my LA-46. I know you've seen the LA-46 in my Vector, and it's some pretty good engine runs, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a good engine run. It's easy for me to miss that needle. So I'm hoping that by putting a smaller Venturi in there, that's what Al Fierro and I talked about, that maybe if I put a smaller ID Venturi, I'll have a broader needle setting.
You got a stock Venturi in it now?
I believe so, yeah.
The only bad thing about choking it down like that, it won't have as much power.
Well, that's the good thing. I'm in a good position because I have plenty of power.
Okay.
Even some people have said the LA-46 is a little bit too much for the Vector. They think the Brodak 40 is a better fit. So I have power to spare.
Oh, what a difference!
This Vector must be about the same size as a Twister. Is it bigger than a Twister? Because that's
about the size of a Nobler, actually.
Like that one?
What engine is that?
46 LA silver.
Yeah, I have that engine. Yeah, and I'm hoping that the Venturi in a 25 will fit in it and has a smaller ID.
A magic tool.
The magic tool, yes.
Except I lost my paper.
But do you have a stock LA-25 Venturi? I just saw the.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I have some in the garage. I got to just measure them. That's one of the things I want to do tonight. I'm hoping to go flying tomorrow morning.
You got one of these magic tools?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you some info anyway.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Well, you're measuring that nylon Venturi against the
Yeah, I just
nylon one look taller if you can get down in deep
all
enough.
the way down to the narrow part.
probably not nylon. It's probably, what's that other material? Delrin?
Delrin.
716,
Delrin.
716, 622. I got more. Oh wait, is that a 4? Yeah, that's a 46. Crap laying around. I don't even. That's a big old Venturi on that.
Yeah, it's a tall one.
Tall one.
That's brand new too. Oh, that baby's choked down big time. Yeah, it's the same size as this nylon one here down inside.
What did you say it was? 622?
Yeah, 622.
622. That's got a. Okay, yeah, that's right. Because this got the.
That's millimeters.
Yeah, okay. That confuses me.
Sorry,
I'm a geek guy by nature, but I wish we had gone. I wish we had gone metric back in the 70s or whenever it was.
Yeah.
That we were talking about it.
Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I want one of that one too.
Yeah, Kevin came out with this Warbird, and he was flying electric today really well.
Did you say electric?
Yeah, he has a Skyraider. And
That's exactly the same as that one. Well, I got too much engines.
oh, you never have too much engines.
How do you convert an LA-46 to an electric motor?
Yeah.
I have no use for these things. Nothing.
Well, if you want to throw them away, I'll give you.
No.
Put them in.
No.
Yeah, he's not parting with any of his stuff. I can witness to that. My birthday came and went. He didn't give me anything.
What are you talking about? A speed controller, a hot mount.
Actually, I misspoke.
And I gave you a happy birthday.
I misspoke. I'm just trying to get the hairs to jump up. Yeah, he's doing me a big favor. He's actually setting up. Oh, by the way, I looked on my computer for the T-Rex plans.
Oh yeah.
And they're not on my computer, but I have a hard drive. I mean, a backup hard drive that has failed. So I got data on my backup, but I can't access it. So
can't access it.
yeah, it's something's wrong with it. It's malfunctioning. It won't.
Well, the hard drive itself.
Yeah, so I got data on it. I probably have plans on there.
What kind of connection is it? Is it USB or is it like that?
It's like that.
Well, I could probably read it on my reader because this one don't work in the computer, but it works off my USB reader.
Well, you know, it's an enclosure. I have a hard drive in an enclosure, and it has a forgot what one end. One end's a strange connection. The other end's a USB. The part that goes in the computer is USB, but the part that goes into the enclosure, it's a Toshiba 3 terabyte hard drive, backup hard drive. I can't access it, and I'm sure I have the plans on there. But I actually suspect I even have some printed plans. So if you want just me to measure it, I could just measure what the printed plans are.
All I need is the measurement. Center line of the wing to the center line of the motor. That's all I need.
All right.
100,000 people look at the post, but not a single reply.
Well, it's probably because the site's down.
Yeah.
I just posted the link again for any of you people that are out there on YouTube watching us and you want to come in. You've found by now you can't get to the At the Bench thread. I just posted the link for the third time in the chat box on the YouTube watch page, so you can get in that way. The thing is if you try to join and if I don't know you, I might not let you in. We'll just have to wait and see. But at least we can give it a try. But I can't think of too many times lately when anybody's joined us that I didn't already know. So
how do you screenshot again, or can't you in this?
What'd you say?
How do you do a screenshot on here?
Oh, you go up on the left, you mouse over to the left, and
Green arrow.
a little.
The green one?
Yep, the green arrow.
Wait a minute.
And then you choose whether to share what's open in a picture app or whatever.
Oh.
So I usually open the folder with the pictures and then open a picture in one of my picture viewing apps and then do screen share. Oh,
All right.
there it
Well,
is.
that's carburetor. There we go.
Yes.
That's the Sky Raider I got from Dave, and that's Dave.
Whoa, man. That's a big old plane.
Present to all, Rusty.
Okay.
It goes to you.
There we go. Everybody should have it big now. Whoa, it just went crazy when I did that.
Look at that.